What's going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate you all coming back. Also, share this out. It's still a bit of a dead time. Training camp is getting closer, though. Training camp is getting closer, as the rookies have reported today. But it's still a little bit of a dead time, and would appreciate a share out overall of this video series, and the channel, as well as we are trying to climb to 1.3K subs. So appreciate the support as we go along. Another Roster Bubble Series video, 5 to 10 minutes long usually. How I do these Roster Bubble Series videos is I take a player that's on the cusp of being cut, talk about their background, their competition. I talk about how they could win a spot on the roster, how they could lose a spot on the roster, and then at the end, a prediction. So today is Ryder Anderson. Ryder Anderson is 24 years old. He originally started with Ole Miss at college, and then with Indiana as well. As of 2021, 2022, goes undrafted, and the New York Giants pick him up. And after the preseason, they cut him, signed to the practice squad, elevated from the practice squad for Week 6 and Week 7 against the Ravens and the Jaguars, and then officially promoted to the active roster on December 16th, and looks like the Giants never looked back on that one. So some stats to throw your way about Ryder Anderson. 7 games, 2 starts, 2 sacks, 8 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for a loss. In terms of pressures, he had 4 pressures. Snap count, played 14% of the 7 games he played, those snap-wise, on special teams, and 33% of the defensive snaps in those 7 games on defense. So there is that. And also, if you guys like PFF, I'm going to throw this in there once again because there are players where you'll get, a lot of numbers when you look them up. There's some players that you won't get a lot of numbers, and you'll have to rely on certain things you really don't want to. But just to throw out there, PFF graded him at a 43 last year, 36 against the run, 61.2 in the pass rush game, and 72.7 in tackling. So he's a good tackler, at least according to them. Pass rush game is good, run defense is not. Which is a problem because the New York Giants need depth on the defensive line, and I would think that is mostly geared toward run defense. Now, they did better that up this offseason with Deshaun Robinson and Raheem Nunez-Roches being signed, but once again, they need to sturdy it up just in case those guys get injured, because Deshaun Robinson is actually coming back from a season-ending injury. Nunez-Roches, he's a depth guy, so he can only do so much and play so much. And then same with Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. So competition, right? Kobe Smith, who we talked about a few videos ago. Jordan Riley, he is a draft pick out of Oregon. He's been to a lot of different colleges, so a lot of different types of experience for him. Vernon Butler, former Panther, former Bill. He's been around the league a lot, played 1 game for the Giants last year, and DJ Davidson, the rookie, well, now second-year man out of Arizona State. So he's facing some stiff competition, but overall, I think he's got decent chances of making the roster. Obviously, I'll have a prediction at the end, but Kobe Smith has been on practice squads. Jordan Riley, I don't know if he makes the roster. I'm going to be honest. His resume is not that impressive for a Giants draft pick. Vernon Butler didn't do much of anything last year, so he needs the preseason of a lifetime to stay on this roster, and even other rosters as well. And then DJ Davidson, who's coming off of an ACL injury. I think he's going to make the roster, as I mentioned in another video, but it's all up to how many Giants defensive linemen are kept. So how can you win? Stay healthy is the number one thing. Dominate training camp, in my opinion. Get better versus the run and rack up sacks. Racking up sacks, I think, is going to be one of the more important ones because it looks like pass rush is his specialty, and he had a solid career at Ole Miss and Indiana in that area with numbers and whatnot. And last year, the Giants did not get a sack in the preseason with their defensive linemen or any of the linebackers. It was all secondary based. I think Trenton Thompson and Khalil Dorsey have the only sacks, to my knowledge. So get some sacks, rack up some sacks, get better versus the run. He's got a good tackling grade, so if he could just, if he ever plays on the end, set the edge, or just do the basic stuff, like don't get rammed over. I know he's like smaller than some of the other guys we've talked about, Jordan Riley, Kobe Smith, And, the guys we've seen over the last few years, like Danny Shelton, Justin Ellis, those guys are bigger. But some of those guys also have gotten rammed over by double teams. Now, I don't think Ryder Anderson is a guy that, 2s and 3s are going to double team, but at least maintain level. I mean, I know that's pretty basic, but maintain proper pad level in terms of rushing, in terms of going after the run. Play your gaps too. I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to playing the run. Wrap up, put yourself in position to make plays, or put yourself in position so your other teammates can make plays as well. But I think overall he has to also dominate training camp against 2s and 3s. I think from what I hear, he's bulked up a little bit, but I think he needs this training camp because, once again, it depends on how many Giants defensive linemen are kept. So with that being said, how can he lose? Run defense still lacks washed up during plays. Definitely don't want to see that. And once again, we've seen the last few years, whether it's Giants depth in the preseason or the regular season, the depth has been bad, and they've gotten washed up during run plays. And obviously, if Ryder Anderson wants to make the roster, well, he better stay out of that category. Pass rush skill set brought to a halt, and lack of tackles versus 2s and 3s. As I said, 8 tackles last year. He graded pretty well by PFF in terms of tackling. So, make as many tackles as possible, see what you can do on special teams. But I think one of the best things out there is just try to get to the quarterback. Try to get to the quarterback hits, the quarterback pressures. Get noticed. That's my thing. Get noticed. Lack of tackles versus 2s and 3s. Make as many tackles as possible. So how can you win? Stay healthy, dominate training camp, get better versus the run, rack up sacks. How can you lose? Run defense still lacks, washed up during plays, pass rush skill set brought to a halt, lack of tackles, and lack of action versus the 2s and 3s. Lack of action meaning, you're not getting too many pressures or too many situations where you're in the backfield. You're getting stonewalled. So I think he actually gets cut, unfortunately. I think it's going to be pretty close for him. I think the Giants only keep about 5 defensive linemen. I already talked about Kobe Smith being cut. In my opinion, Jordan Riley the same, Vernon Butler the same, DJ Davidson the same. Actually, no, not DJ Davidson the same. I have DJ Davidson making it. But other than that, I think the Giants are going to just keep 5 because I think you have a solid core 4 and then, one other guy that's just going to be there to rotate in as well. But I like the way the depth is shaping out. But Ryder Anderson, I'm not discrediting him by saying he's going to get cut. I think it's going to be probably him on the practice squad or him on a different team. I don't think he's going to be unemployed. So like, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so when a live stream pops your drops. Appreciate you coming back. Just to let you guys know, once again, Thursday, 6 p.m., we're going to have Lance Meadow, Giants beat reporter. He's on the Giants YouTube channel a ton. He's also a Sirius XM radio host. We're going to have him on for our training camp preview. It's going to be fun. Throw in your questions. It's going to be a live stream. Peace out, guys. See you later, and stay cool.